there, and welcome to Rockwall, Texas Living, the web's biggest blog on the smallest county in Texas. I am your host today, Evan Matteson.
And I'm your co-host, Richard Matteson.
Well, it's Real Estate Update again, so we're going to be dealing with the month of June 2013, and we got some numbers for you that I think you'll find very interesting.
Yeah, so let's just dive into it.
Yep.
This is the first number, which tells us that there are 392 homes on the market in the Rockwall and Heath area right now.
Slight uptick from what we've seen in previous months.
About 360, maybe 32 homes or 30 homes more.
Okay.
But we are in the beginning of the summer season, so it's could be a lot better.
It's been a lot better in the past.
Right.
So this is definitely still a continuation of a seller's market. We are low on inventory.
Right.
Okay.
So let's look at what's sold in June, and we have here the 5 categories, and we see that the most productive one was 150 to 250.
That's where our sweet spot is for Rockwall.
Yeah, and then 162 homes sold in June.
And that is huge.
Yeah, that is really huge when the average is usually about 60 to 65.
Right, and then when we saw it going into summer months, you sometimes see 80s, 90s, maybe even cresting over into the low 100s, but that's just ridiculous.
162 homes, and at 98%, which is a good percentage. People are getting their value out of the house.
We're seeing more of that because of multiple offers that are coming in, so prices are staying closer to list price.
Yeah, and then you look at this, days on the market, and wow, only in this top category, 400,000 and above, is it over 100 days.
Yeah, so pretty much month and a half,
yeah.
2 months is the norm, and then over 400,000 you might be on the market for 120 days. So 4 months, that's still ridiculously low compared to where we've been in past years.
Right. And what some of my homeowners are saying is, wow, I better have an action plan if I'm planning on selling my home.
You could be homeless.
Be homeless quicker than I wanted to be homeless. So
right.
That's a good important thing to remember. And then let's look at the views here. This is very interesting that there are 3,728 views over the 5 categories of home sales, and that's an awesome number, and we're going to see how that compares to the rest of the 2013 in just a minute.
Cool.
And then the monthly inventory. This is the wow factor right here when you think about 1.5 to 2 months.
I always say this, balanced is 6 months. Balanced market is 6 months. So 1.7, 1.4, 1.9, that's what we call extreme sellers. I know you've heard us say this before. We're saying it again because all of these, everything is an extreme seller, and we, for one time, we're finally getting to where we have a balanced market over the $400,000 point.
Right.
Which is extreme because we've seen that as high as 2 years worth of inventory.
24 months. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. This is the months of activity and the showings through the first 6 months of 2013. So you can see we've raised our level or amount of homes.
Yeah, we've had more come on the market. Even though we've had outflow from sold homes, we've still increased our average on the market by about 10%, a little bit less than that, 8%.
Right, and we've gone back and forth here from 78 to 87, then back down to 85, then 125, and then back down to 112. So about every other month we're hitting a new record in a sense, and this one with 162 is a powerful
huge. Yeah.
Sale market. And then you see these showings over here that keep increasing, and part of that's due to the small inventory. They want to see as many homes as possible, and that's maybe they see them once or twice or maybe 3 times just to make sure it's the right one before they make the decision to pull
the trigger.
Pull the trigger, right?
Yeah.
And then here's what's happening in June now. There are 103 pending homes in June.
Wow.
So coming out of June, we have 103 pending homes, which means it's going to be a strong July too.
Yep.
All right. So the implications: if you're trying to be on the market, wow, you better be ready. And you really don't want to go on the market until you are ready, right?
That's because it's going to be quick, and we need to get out on the market and be as perfect condition as possible so that when those offers, and very likely multiple offers, come in, that we're going to be able to get the highest and best, and we're also not going to be able to get beaten down through inspections or whatever. Right. So you want to get an inspection done up front, as much work up front as you can do, and this is regardless of the market, this is always the best principle.
Right.
But for sure in the seller's market, the more ready you can be the better it's going to be for a buyer coming in.
You're going to have a more joy-filled experience if you do all that work up front, because
Absolutely.
then you're just sitting back and cruising
Yep.
and letting it happen.
No worries and no concerns,
Yeah,
or
very exciting.
minimal comparatively.
Right, so that's some of the implications and stories. Like I've had a couple buyers say, wow, we need to get out and look now because we're expecting our house to sell quickly. So
Yeah, and I would say two different stories. I've definitely had a couple clients, their house went on the market under contract pretty quick for at or over list price, and then they're having to move in with family because trying to find the right house for them. So it's a little bit of a stress, you know, so you need to be aware of that, maybe even work on some of those plans that if something like that happens, where are we going to go, what are we going to do? You know, I would also say from the buyer end, it's becoming more and more norm for us to contact every single listing agent that we're going to go show homes to buyers and confirm within 6 hours of when we're going to be on that appointment if they're still available, because a lot of times these agents aren't updating stuff online because stuff's coming in so fast and they're just overwhelmed, honestly. Yeah. So it's a really good thing to do that, and I'm finding that 50% of the homes that we want to show that look like they're active online are already under contract.
Yeah.
So
and
it's crazy.
Yeah, and here's the last thing. I just closed a house which sold for $10,000 over appraisal.
Yeah.
And they tried to negotiate it down several times, and the people held firm, and they sold their house for $10,000 over their sale price.
All of that said,
appraisal price.
This is a seller's market.
Yeah.
And things move in cycles. It will not stay like this forever. And it will go back to a balanced market, and then at some point we'll go into a buyer's market, and then it will come back.
Right.
Now this is over periods of years.
Yeah.
But this is where we're at right now, but it won't be like this forever.
All right, so it's time.
All right. We're learning a little bit more about Rockwall, Texas together every day and keeping you informed on the real estate market as well. We'll see you next time.